Okay, here we are up at Hidden Lake. We're going to be spreading Peter's ashes. There's Sean passing ashes around. Now, this is not something to eat, folks.
It's not protein powder.
It's not protein powder. If anybody wants to say anything about Peter.
Yes, I would like to say that Peter had a great sense of humor because I jokingly got Monique a little plaque that said, "It's hard to live life in the fast lane when you're married to a speed bump." And he did not find it funny, but he loved me anyway. So I appreciated Peter's sense of humor, and even bought us tickets to go see O when Monique took me to Las Vegas. So Peter will be missed and is missed. And bye.
Well, I could say as his brother, he loved playing the teacher, and he always taught me everything, usually after I had done it. But he'd always teach me one way or the other, either, by example, by doing it wrong himself, or out of love, trying to get me not to do what he did. But best brother I could have had. I thank God it's no higher than this to spread his ashes.
Well, Peter was always my go-to person on the evening shift. So whenever I had a problem, or with the lab, or with anything, I always went to Peter, and he was really funny because the first time he saw me, he didn't remember who I was. So after that, he was always said my name and always said, "I know who you are." So I really, really miss him. I really miss his presence when I walk into the lab and he's not there. So I'm happy to be here and spread his ashes.
Well, I know that Peter appreciates the fact that I'm finally exercising to come up here because it's like something he was always trying to get me to do.
Yeah, dude. Just hold it for me. I just wanted to say that before I retired, Peter was concerned that I was going to sit in a lounge chair and watch TV and die there, And he got me out here hiking, and Alex and I had done this Mount Burdell dozens of times with him. And he also, one hike, they were talking about Shasta, and I want to do that. Little did I know what I was in for when I said that. So, I owe him so much gratitude for being my sponsor, for getting me off my ass, getting me out here, living life to the fullest. His beautiful daughter and her fiance, and the trip we had up Shasta was just memorable. Like the last 2 years, we've had memorial hikes up Shasta. My son and Peter. Now we have a celebration hike, an engagement, which hopefully means that I'll finally make the summit one day. So God bless you, Peter. We love you. Anybody else?
A couple weeks ago, I was suffering riding into the wind, and all I could think of was having the diesel in front of me. For some reason, the wind stopped. It kind of slowed down on me and made my ride easier that day. So I know he's around. I miss him a lot.
Peter was one of our favorite dads, all friends from elementary school, and everybody misses him so much. And then I had a chance to work with him at Kaiser, and it's really hard going into the lab and not seeing him there, and having him give a little smile or a pat, and then look around and say, "Oh, it's okay, she's one of my wife's best friends."
I think that for me, I didn't know Peter as long as most of you, but get back up a little with that. I just love that his smile doesn't go away. I mean, it's so honest and alive. I just love it. It's like I can get it right now, any minute, any time, any day, forever, because it was so big and so honest. So I'm grateful for that.
I have one thing to say. As one of Peter's brothers, Peter was the one that always made us comfortable. He was always the one that gave you the biggest hug, the biggest smile, and was always there, happy times and sad times. He was a great man, and we all miss him a ton. And thanks for everyone for being here too. We got Peter with us forever.
Peter was I'm not a mountain climber, but in the whole climbing community, a Sherpa is someone who's been there and done that. And for me, he was that on the bicycle, but more in life. He's the kind of man that I wanted to be, and I was lucky enough to have him as my good friend, mentor for almost 20 years. I think of him I'm up here 2 or 3 days a week, and it's like a almost constant thought about, it's like he's gone, but he's not, because he's like imprinted, you know. All the kind things that he's said and done for me and my wife. I just want to be more like that, you know, and so miss you, Peter. Love you.
Time to get him out of your hands.
Peter was my sponsor too for many, many years, and he got me mountain climbing. And the last trip we took to Mount Shasta, we made it to the top, and I was like 200 feet from the very top, and I got altitude sickness, and I was freaking out. I didn't know what was going to happen. Peter was there for me. He comforted me. He brought me down to a safe level and got me back to where I needed to be. And that's just one little tiny thing that he did for me, but I miss him a lot, and I wish he was still in my heart. I love him.
Peter and I go way back to the days when we were in general, the early 70s, and when we were wild and crazy. And we both started hiking and fishing and climbing the Sierras. I'll always remember those times. We had the greatest times going off and just appreciating the outdoors and loving to be with each other and working together to do things while we're out on the trail and just experiencing new experiences all the time. Really remarkable, and I'll always remember those days. I'll tell you what, he's a great friend, great hiking companion. So, God bless you, Peter.
Yeah, I didn't know Peter as long as a lot of you either, but kind of like what you were saying, he was the guy when you went somewhere, you know, if there were a bunch of people you didn't know, you gravitate towards that face across the room, like, oh, I need to get over there, you know, Peter. But, you know, I like I said, I knew him for a few years and loved the hell out of him. You know, he gave me my fiance. Owe him a lot for that, and I love him.
Peter and I hiked together for about 25 years. The first time I saw Sean, he had him in a belly pack out at the end of the Indian Valley Road on a cold January day, about 10 days old. But we hiked together almost every week for many, many years. We covered a lot of miles up in West Marin and Mount Tam, places like that along the seashore. And if everybody was so lucky to have a friend like Peter, it would be a different world. And I miss him a lot.
Nice movie.
Everyone's
Well, we definitely have Peter with us now.
Yeah, we really have him. We're wearing
he's in my lungs.
Yeah, people who went on that side were much smarter.
And everyone's walking around a handful of Peter's ashes, spreading them on the trees and hidden lake, and